You already talked about the Junkyard Dog a little bit. You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
And you had some stuff in WCW together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and we used to travel a lot too. We used to ride together, and we used to hang out and party together. Did all that stuff. I mean, Dog was a good guy, man. Good guy, good man. You know, too bad he left too early, but we got along great. I mean, we wrestled. He got a little stiff sometimes, you know, on his punches and shit like that, but I learned a lot from him too, man, because him and Ron Simmons, because we all three used to hang out together. We partied together. We went fishing together all the time. Did more partying than fishing, even though we was on the freaking fishing bank, right? You know, ride horses together and stuff like that, and hung out, had a good time. And then, you know, when I was a heel, we did a few matches. And then when my contract was almost over, they were trying to turn me back to Big Cat. Didn't make much sense because I was already Mr. Hughes, the bodyguard. I got over with that gimmick. And then they tried to switch me back over to Big Cat and turn me back babyface by working Dog, and my glasses would break. And then he'd consult me because glass got by and all that. I didn't like it at all, man. I already knew. I was like, yeah, I guess my contract's almost over. They're trying to make me leave so I don't have to finish paying my contract out. That's what that was about. But I was like, I'm gonna ride it out. I wrote it out, you see. And so once I wrote it out, then WWF came calling about a year later after I went around the country and toured and went all over the planet, you know. And then WWF called.
Was it cool hanging out, being friends, and working with the Junkyard Dog? Someone who was in Mid-South was like the guy, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course in New York too. But having that experience and being around that too.
Yeah, Dog was he was fun to be around, man. Like I said, me, him, and Ron was pretty much together all the time. We'd go hang out over at his house, have some beers, and you know, watch some wrestling and just have a good time, basically. And then on the road, we'd all travel together on the road and just talk and because you know, us three black guys, we're I'm the young guy, so they're smartening me up to the business on how Caucasian wrestlers are and act, and some of them are pretty cool. But they were filling me in on the real aspect of it, of the business, of how it is with black guys and dark-skinned people and Caucasian people in the business. You know, they were smarting me up. I'm glad they told me. Rufus told me too in Kansas City, but I got a real hands-on teaching from them, being in the car with them, and they're explaining to me, hey, Cat, you know, watch this, be careful with this, blah, blah, blah. You know, everybody ain't your friend, so forth and so on, you know. And so I learned a lot of that from them, from Ron and Junkyard Dog, man. And I thank God I had the opportunity to be with them and get taught that stuff. And up to this day, me and Ron's still pretty tight, you know. Even though we used to wrestle together and ride together and party together and did a lot of shit together, man. I mean, you know, I thank God I had the opportunity to experience that lifestyle with him. I mean, just being on the road with these superstars, man. You understand? And here I'm a new guy coming in, and I'm pinching myself all the way, you know. I mean, it was amazing.
And this is, I think, when like Flair, I think, had a little bit of the book too. Mm-hmm. He was kind of running things. Did you ever have any issues or anything with him, or
no? I never had no issues with Flair, but going back to what we were talking about you know, the you know, black and white thing. See, I was a new guy coming in, and I was still learning. Okay. And I would go to the older guys, and I would ask, you know, could you watch my match, you know, just to see, you know, if anything I need to do out there, you know, to make me a better performer. I used to do that with Flair and Arn and different old timers. I used to do that, in particular with Flair. And I remember we was on the road, and we were somewhere in Carolina somewhere. I think it was Roanoke somewhere. Roanoke, Virginia, I think it was. Yeah, it was in Roanoke somewhere. Or Richmond. Yeah, it was in Richmond. And right before I went out to the match, I was working Brad Armstrong that night. And Lord rest his soul, and I asked Rick, I said, hey, Flair, you think you can watch my match, you know, just see if I, you know, what I need to do, whatever. And he goes, yeah. He goes, sure, kid. Yeah. And so I go out and have my match. You know, you can, now from the ring, you can see where the boys are standing, because that's where they would stand and watch matches, whatever match they wanted to watch. And I did not see Flair at all, not one time. So I get the match over and I get done and I go in the dressing room and say, "Yo, Flair, did you see my match?" He goes, "Oh, sorry, kid, I didn't get to see it." But I did see him pop out and watch it a few times. But he lied to me though. That he said he didn't even watch it. You understand? I mean, he was there and then he wasn't there. Okay, so he was watching it and then he left. But he told me he didn't see it. I knew he watched it. Because this is one thing I used to do, and I noticed some other wrestlers try to do it too to get a pop. One thing, I'd choke a guy on the rope, and I'd tell him, move. I'd hit the rope, come off, and he'd move. I'd do a nut shot, and the place would just explode because they'd never seen that before. And I noticed Arn was starting to do it, and a couple other guys were starting to do it just to get a pop, you know? And I'm going, man, they're trying to steal my stuff, man. Thieves, you know? I mean, I'm being real with you here. I'm being honest. I mean, that's how it was back then. Guys, that's why with this internet thing, and there's something you doing on the show and you recording it, and it's good stuff, and you ain't made it to the big time yet, you better not put it online, because somebody's going to steal it. Yeah. And then if they see it before you do it, they're going to say you stole it from them. See, I tell my students now, if you got something good, don't you put it online, because somebody's going to take it, and they're going to own it, and then the fans are going to say, well, so-and-so got that from so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm training these young people, you know, I'm training them how to come up with their own moves and own finishes and things like that. You can't just do a rock bottom. Hell, Rock already does that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or what I do, a sidewalk Sam, you know, I do that. So, or a DDT, you know, I hate when I see young people doing old timers finishes and kicking out. That's why people change channels. That's why they click off. You can't give nobody a finished pile driver and they kick out the damn thing. You can't give nobody no DDT and they kick out the damn thing. You can't give nobody no super kick and they kick out the damn thing. These are all finishes from people that done them already. You understand? And so that's one of my pet peeves, man. When we're doing shows at the school, I specifically tell my freaking trainees, I bet not see you do nobody's finish and kick out. That's disrespectful. How would you feel if somebody do your finish every damn night? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, wrestling is serious business to me. That's why I've been doing it so long. That's why I've been training people so long. That's why I'm still training people, because I want to teach these kids the best way I can possibly teach them so they can survive and have a good career and make some money, period.